disclaimer. This episode highlights the inspiring story of Sacagawea's courage in the face of many challenges, and some of those challenges may be sensitive for younger viewers. Parental preview suggested. From Uncle Mike. Hello again, Uncle Mike here. Would you like to read a book with me? Today we are continuing our series on courage with the book Against the Odds, 4 true life stories about courage. Today's story is going to be on Sacagawea. That sure is a unique name, isn't it? Who is she, you say? Let's find out. Sacagawea by Susan E. Edgar. Sacagawea, born about 1787, died 1812 or 1844. Wow, that's quite a big difference, isn't it? Sacagawea, a young Native American woman, faced many great challenges. Traveling with Lewis and Clark's team of explorers in 1805 to 1806, she helped blaze trails and gather information about vast areas of uncharted wilderness west of the Mississippi River. Today, more monuments have been dedicated to Sacagawea and her courageous spirit than to any other woman in U.S. history. Far from the shining mountains, Sacagawea was born into the Shoshone Native American culture in the late 1780s, around the time George Washington became the first president of the United States. The Shoshone lived in Bitterroot Valley, near the present-day border of Montana and Idaho. They called it the land of the shining mountains because the surrounding peaks glisten with snow most of the year. How cool is that? The Shoshone were nomads, moving from place to place as they hunted for food. When Sacagawea was about 12 years old, a band of Hidatsa Indians raided her village, killed several men, women, and boys. Several girls, including Sacagawea, were taken far away from the Shining Mountains to a place called the Three Forks, an area in North Dakota where 3 rivers flowed together. The girls were made to work as slaves in the Hidatsa village. That's pretty scary. The Hidatsa had a very different lifestyle from the Shoshone. The Hidatsa were farmers who settled in one place and tended the land. Young Sacagawea soon learned to plant and harvest crops, like Hidatsa women. When she was a teenager, the Hidatsa sold her to a Toussaint Charbonneau, a French-Canadian fur trapper who lived near Three Forks. Charbonneau made her his wife. Through the translations of La Biche, Carbona, and Sacagawea, we commuted to them, the Shoshone, fully the objectives which had brought us into this distant part of the country. That's from Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark, in his journal entry of August 17, 1805. Corps of Discovery. In the winter of 1804, an expedition team known as the Corps of Discovery arrived at Fort Mandan near Three Forks. It was led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, who had been sent by President Thomas Jefferson to explore the western region of the North American continent. Both Lewis and Clark kept journals, recording everything as they experienced along the way. Lewis was a naturalist. He studied plants and animals and wrote about the people they met. Clark, a map maker, charted the routes they took. The Corps spent the winter at Fort Mandan. Lewis and Clark needed an interpreter, someone who could speak Native American languages. They were willing to pay $500 and 320 acres of land. That's a lot of land. Carbonneau could speak French and Hidatsa, and his wife spoke Hidatsa and Shoshone. Francois Labiche, already a member of the Corps, spoke French and English. So it was settled. Sacagawea, Carbonneau, and their 2-month-old son joined the Corps. The group left Three Forks once the snow melted in the spring of 1805. The Corps of Discovery, 30 members in all, welcomed the newcomers. Having a woman and a baby in the group was a sign to anyone they met along the way that the Corps was on a peaceful mission. Sacagawea soon proved more courageous and helpful than anyone had expected. For instance, when a boat capsized, that means when it tipped over, her quick-witted action rescued precious papers and supplies. Her knowledge of the terrain was helpful too. With her baby strapped to her back in a cradleboard, she led the explorers safely through rough territory unknown to them. Using old Indian trails, she shortened their trek by hundreds of miles. When the Corps arrived in the Bitterroot Valley, Sacagawea asked local people where the Corps could buy horses to haul food on the long journey. Among the group, Sacagawea was surprised and thrilled to find her brother, who she had not seen for years. After a brief reunion, the group moved on. Sacagawea may have wanted to stay in her homeland, but she knew that the expedition was important and that her insistence was invaluable. The Corps Discovery traveled as far west as the Oregon's Pacific coast, then back to North Dakota, more than 4,000 miles in 16 months. The expedition was a great success. Both Lewis and Clark wrote about Sacagawea's courage and praised her interpretive and trailblazing skills. In a letter to Charbonneau, dated August 20th, 1806, Clark wrote, "Your woman who accompanied you on that long, dangerous, and fatiguing route on the Pacific Ocean and back, deserved a greater reward for her attention and services on that route than we had in our power to give her." Pretty cool. According to some reports, Sacagawea died of fever in 1812, just 6 years after her heroic journey. Other reports, however, have her living to a great old age, dying in 1884. Regardless of when she died, her story of courage lives on. In 2001, the U.S. Mint issued a $1 coin bearing Sacagawea's image. She also was given the honorary military rank of sergeant for her service to her country. Wow! Saving the day. Sacagawea had not been with Lewis and Clark long before the young woman proved herself a worthy member of the team. On May 14, 1805, a sudden storm blew up while some of the team were in boats on a river. Lewis and Clark watched from shore as their men, yelling and fighting panic, struggled to keep a boat carrying irreplaceable maps, papers, and supplies from going under. Through it all, Sacagawea remained calm. "The Indian woman," Lewis later wrote, "to whom I describe equal fortitude and resolution with any person on the board at the time of the accident, caught and preserved most of the light articles which were washed overboard." Wow, that's pretty amazing. The first picture says, "Explorers Lewis and Clark with Sacagawea, their invaluable guide." Well, the next photo, this Corps Discovery Monument, which stands in Kansas City, Missouri, features Sacagawea along with Lewis, Clark, and York, Clark's slave. Yeah, back then they had slaves. Good thing they don't have that anymore. And then the last picture, dollar coins, first issued in 2000, honor Sacagawea's place in American history. Wow, how cool, she even has money with her face on it. Was that a great story or what? You can get your own copy by clicking on the link below. Can you even imagine what Sacagawea had to go through? Having your town raided at the age of 12? Seeing all your friends and family killed and you becoming a slave? That's really scary. But not only did she adapt, she learned a lot of new skills, but also helped the Americans explore the western region of the North American continent. On top of everything else, she walked 4,000 miles with a baby on her back. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Daisy Detective here. Did you like this book? You can get a copy for yourself by clicking on the link below or by visiting your local bookstore or library. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you will know when new videos are ready. Let Uncle Mike know of your favorite book in the comments below, and he will mention you in the video. You are on your way to becoming a reading genius, and we can't wait to see you again. Bye!